Hey, what's up? I'm Ara, aka AyyDot, and welcome back to the channel. If you did not know by now, I am a huge American Horror Story fan. With season 10 getting ready to wrap up, I figured why not share my top 10 favorite AHS characters. I'll be honest, this list was very hard to narrow down because Sarah Paulson and Evan Peters are easily my favorite actors in the series, and it was very hard to not make this list just predominantly of their characters. So let's just get to it. At number 10, we have Montana Duke from Season 9 of AHS 1984, played by the wonderful Billie Lourd. She's the most recent AHS character in my top 10, but I'll be honest, I really enjoyed the campiness of 1984. Montana is a super hot and horny aerobics instructor that is hell-bent on vengeance for her brother and likes to have some fun while she is at it. So what is not to love about her? Also, can we get into these fabulous 80s looks? Like, come on now. At number 9, Jimmy Darling, aka Lobster Boy. Oh, Evan Peters. With his first character appearance on this list, Jimmy is one of the kindest characters in Season 4 of AHS Freak Show. He marries Bet and Dot Tatler for love, not some weird fetish thing. He helps to get rid of Dandy Mott. He is a huge mama's boy, and he also helps to get justice for Meep. If it's not obvious, I'm a fan of characters that are able to get payback for those who were wronged and unjustly killed. At number 8, Madison Montgomery. Bet you didn't think you saw the last of Madison, eh? The queen bitch of AHS Season 3 and 8, Coven and Apocalypse, portrayed by Emma Roberts. Madison is hands down one of my favorites of the Coven witches. We first meet her as a narcissistic former child star whose demise in Coven was very well deserved, but she really is the bitch you love to hate, and her comeback in Apocalypse was one of the best. She goes on a complete redemption arc, sacrificing herself for the Coven. Even though the last 10 minutes of that season completely undid that, I like to imagine the alternate timeline where she proves she is capable of being a kinder person and more empathetic. Number 7, Lana Winters. Lana Banana, the journalist extraordinaire from AHS Season 2 and 6, Asylum and Roanoke, played by the legend herself, Sarah Paulson. Lana helped bring down the serial killer that killed her lover and many other women, along with her demon spawn with said serial killer, who also happened to become a serial killer. Yeah, there's some really, really messed up genetics there. But anyways, she helped exonerate Kit Walker of the accusation of being Bloodyface, expose the torture and torment that patients at Briarcliff were going through, and cover the exclusive interview with Lee Harris in Roanoke. This badass woman went through hell and back and was able to persevere and come out on top, which is one of the reasons I love her so much. Number 6, we have Marie Laveau. The voodoo priestess herself is the incomparable Marie Laveau, played by the icon Angela Bassett. I'll be upfront, it was hard not to include most of the Coven cast on this list because they're all so talented and every character is really dynamic. Honestly, any woman that can get revenge on a slave owner like Madame LaLaurie and Witch Hunters will always be a top contender for me. She represents a powerful, strong black woman and a leader in her community in Louisiana. At number 5, Sister Mary Eunice. This is the possessed Sister Mary Eunice I am speaking about because she was so much fun to watch compared to regular Sister Mary Eunice in Season 2, Asylum. This is by far my favorite performance by Lily Rabe in the entire series. So yes, that does include Misty Day. She was able to really push her characters to some really dark places, and she did a phenomenal job while doing it. Her fall from grace, no pun intended, was entertaining to watch and is a standout for me. Number 4, Kit Walker. I promise this is the last Asylum character on the list and the last appearance of Evan Peters on this list. So yeah, Tate is nowhere on this list because I don't care how much other people like him. I just don't. So, anyways, in a season full of dark characters with very questionable morals, Kit stands apart as the moral center of the story. After his false accusations of the murder of his wife and the bloody-faced victims, Kit remains hopeful that he will be exonerated for the false charges, which he eventually is. He also reminds Lana of her promise to help out the patients at Briarcliff and encourages her to write her expose, which she eventually does. Also, Kit seems to be very special from what the current season of AHS Double Feature is alluding to, with him being selected and saved by the aliens as part of their early phases of their breeding program. Number 3, Constance Langdon. I know you're probably thinking, didn't she just say Tate was a terrible person, which is why he isn't on this list, but Constance is. So, to that I'll tell you, this is all my opinion, so don't worry about it. But on a serious note, Jessica Lange's first appearance in the series is one of her best in my opinion. Even though all of her characters are amazing, Constance holds a special place in my heart. Luckily for us, not only do we see her in Season 1 Murder House, but we are reunited with her in Season 8 Apocalypse. She is a terrible mom and grandmother, but boy is she fun to watch. Honestly, Constance is the strongest character in Season 1, but when your character is being played by Jessica Lange, what can you expect? Despite all her faults, she does her best to do right by eliminating the Antichrist, aka her grandson Michael Langdon, and that within itself deserves all the kudos. Number 2, Liz Taylor. Honestly, this was the hardest decision for me to make on this list because between Liz Taylor and the number 1 choice, they are by far my favorites of all time. Liz Taylor is from Season 5, Hotel, portrayed by Dennis O'Hare, whom I feel doesn't get enough credit as an AHS vet from most of the community. He is one of the most talented actors in the series, and Liz Taylor is by far the strongest of them all. Liz is fabulous and fierce. She is not without her faults, but lives her truth as a trans woman, but at the detriment of missing out on raising her son. They eventually are able to reunite and rekindle their relationship, which is one of the most touching scenes in the series. Her son's acceptance and willing to love and heal their relationship, along with her being reunited with her love Tristan, she gets the happy ending she deserves, which is very uncommon for any character in AHS. So that should lend credence to how special she really is. A few honorable mentions: Hypodermic Sally from Season 5 Hotel, Sister Jude from Season 2 Asylum, Queenie from Seasons 3 Coven, Season 5 Hotel, and Season 8 Apocalypse. We also have the Supreme herself, Cordelia Good, also from Season 3 Coven and Season 8 Apocalypse. And finally, Bet and Dot Tatler from Season 4 Freak Show. At the number 1 spot, Myrtle Snow. I mean, it should be pretty obvious that she was number 1, right? Like, Myrtle Snow is an icon. Played by the forever fabulous Frances Conroy in Seasons 3 Coven and 8 Apocalypse. Myrtle serves looks every time she appears on screen and knows how to read a bitch. She is the first to call Fiona out on her bullshit because my queen clearly has the foresight to spot the fakeness. She encourages and nurtures the Supreme Cordelia to become the strong leader she is for the Coven. She was so vital to Cordelia's success that she resurrects her against her will because she knows that she is the key to defeating the Antichrist. Despite all her badassery, Myrtle also holds herself accountable after she got her vengeance on the council. She still pushes to be punished for her actions to show that no one is above the law within the Coven. She reminded me of Jackson Teller from Sons of Anarchy in that regard. It's another FX show. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it, and I won't go too much further into that if you haven't seen it already. I really love Myrtle, and she is truly a great character within the series, and those are personally my favorites. And so that is about it for my top 10 favorite characters list. Let me know your top 10 in the comments below, and if there's anyone you feel should have been placed higher on this list or included. You can also check out my Season 10 AHS After Show with my bestie Gray Area, live after every episode. I'll leave a link in the description box to the most recent episode and the playlist. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell for future uploads. See you next time. Bye!